What's up, guys? Another day working on the E36. Today we're gonna remove the oil pan, put all the bolts in this area. Basically just gonna follow this, probably start in the back and work my way up, and then I'll use this to take it down, and then I'll go power wash it. So I haven't been filming because it's pretty much you're just undoing bolts. So these were the back half of the engine so far. You can kind of see the lengths. So the two longest ones are oops. You got the 3 E-Torques, and then the two kind of long ones are up in the bell housing, and then you have two really long ones on, I guess, the inside of the outside E-Torques. And then these two were really hard to get because of this lip on the bottom of the pan. So they're, I don't know, they're up there, but they're all 10 millimeter. I can't be too strong with them, so I'm using this, and then I have a wobble socket, and then I guess a wobble joint. I don't know what this is called on my 10, and then I got this one for some of the regular ones. I'll probably tighten with this one, just so I don't apply too much torque. They're not torqued heavy at all, but those two were pretty tricky, had to maneuver around, so I'm gonna try to get the rest out. I did order a new set of bolts just because I had to order new subframe bolts. So apparently the subframe bolts are one-time use only. That's what the manual said. Some people said otherwise, but I'm just gonna go off the manual, and then I'm doing this job, big job, might as well do it once and right. Yeah, so new bolts coming, and then I just got a new set of these from FCP Euro. It's like 47 bucks for every single new bolt. So once I drop this oil pan, I'm gonna use a pressure washer and try to get all the gunk off, as well as on the subframe and then on the power steering rack. And so hopefully everything will be looking mint, and then I'll weld on, you know, the reinforcements and do all that fun stuff. So we're almost there. We're I don't know, 1/6 of the way. Got all the bolts out. I think they were all pretty much the same except for this front left one. It was a little longer than the ones in the back. I think that's all of them. So I'm gonna tap the oil pan and see if it comes down. Ugh, that sketches me out. I don't think I'm missing. My diagram says I'm missing 2, but I don't know where those 2 would have been. Oh, the dipstick. I have to undo the dipstick, I think. Yep, that's what it is. So there is the dipstick tube. Yeah, you can see that bolt that's right there. That won't focus. But it holds the dipstick right here, and it's a 10 millimeter. There's a vacuum line right next to it. Great design. I had to go from the bottom to get it, so now I'm gonna try to unscrew it. And there's 2 O-rings in this dipstick, which I ordered also with the new bolts. So do all that together, and I'm pretty sure that's what's holding the pan on right now. I undid the dipstick, and then I pulled it all the way out, so that's the bottom of the tube, and then I hammered with the rubber mallet to try to loosen it. Wasn't really working, so I actually used a pry bar on this side right here. You can see the pan's moving. So I'm gonna set it up and try to take the whole thing down. All right, I think it's off. Ooh, crusty. What do we call them? Ooh, stinky. There it goes. All right. Oh, there's the pickup tube. Hey, that's the clutch I just put in. All right, so here's our oil pump nut. That's still on there, so that's a good sign. But it's not wired or anything, so good thing I'm in here. And then this is the pickup tube that we're gonna be replacing. I believe it's 2 bolts holding it on here, and then 2 right here. I have a new gasket for that as well. It looks pretty good, kind of crusty, so I mean it's high mileage. I have to take the gasket off. The gasket looks like it was okay, but I also found a little bit in the pan, so let's go look at that. So here we got the oil pan. It comes with a baffle, so that's good. There's some, I think there's a gasket in here I found, and there's also some oil still. So I'm gonna power wash this, especially all this, because this ledge is where the dipstick goes. So we got our new oil pump nut with the wire, so we can tie it, make sure it doesn't back off. Shout out Race German. And if you guys have an E36, E46, or another popular BMW chassis, you can use our affiliate link down below, which we will link in all future videos. So if you need some parts for your car, you want to support a small business and then give a little kickback to us, it's down below, so go ahead. So what we're going to be doing is removing this oil pump nut, and I have one that is wired, or has a hole in it to be wire tied. And we're also going to be removing this pickup tube right here and replacing it with a reinforced version, which I will show you. Alright, so one thing about this oil pump nut, it is left hand threaded or reverse threaded, so righty tighty becomes righty loosey and lefty tighty. So keep that in mind when you're taking it off. Should be interesting. And then the oil pickup tube is just 4 bolts, 2 here and then 2 on the other side. So let's take those off. Righty tighty. Boy. Oh. Hey, I guess it's just scary like that. The fact that the whole engine shook and that this has some play. Little scary. There she is. So now we're going to brake clean this real good, put some red Loctite, and then torque on the new nut. Make sure we got some on there. Okay, and now we'll get our torque wrench. 18 pounds. Well, that's, it's torqued. Does not feel like a lot. Righty, loosey, lefty tighty this way. So we want to bring tension probably this way. And we're going to try to wrap it around that sprocket going this way. So they sell really fancy pliers, but I got in my hand. All right, not sure how well you could tell, but basically I got them tight to here. I just twisted clockwise, then I made sure it was tight down here, and then I split them, wrapped one on the inside of here, and wrapped it back. And then now I'm just gonna try to tuck this under the original strand. This might be a little tricky. some people I see have like the fancy pliers. You don't need those. You need something like this. This was helpful, and then the needle nose just to get those final little touches. All right, oil pump tube now. I think they're 10 mil. 2 here, 2 on the back, and then I'll show you the difference. We're on the last bolt here. Very odd spot. There it is. Alright. Now this should just pop off. Oop, just like that. Alright, so you can see this is the reason you replace them, because this has no support. This could, you know, bend or break, and the new one, you can see it has an extra bracket, much more solid, welded. It's got the bracket. Oh, this is just dumping out oil. There you go. There's that shot. Trick was I threaded in the far side just very loosely. So now we're gonna try to get this gasket on. Just power washed my oil pan. You could see this was like the oil drain, or where the oil dipstick goes. It's super gunky, but I tried to clean it off as best I can. I got covered in stuff, but that's okay. Got most of the grime off. It was a lot of work, but I cleaned up the inside real well. Now I'm just worried about little tiny specks that I guess, I don't know, but this needs to dry before any oil goes into it. Guys, we got all our new oil pan bolts in, so you know what that means. We're gonna install this oil pan. So first, we gotta clean off the old stuff. So I took off the old gasket. I'm gonna have to scrape the old gasket sealer. You're supposed to put it in these 4 corners. First, before I do anything, I'm gonna put this new O-ring or new drain pan gasket in here. And then I'm gonna put this gasket on top of the pan. And then I guess I'll put the RTV on the block and then sandwich it all together and then work front to back. So we got all our new bolts, you know, just cause, only the best. So all these will go on first and then these 2 on the very back. Let's get into it. Oil pan is on, everything is tightened down. You can kind of see it there. There's one bolt that I cannot get, and it's the dipstick tube bolt. I don't know how well you'll be able to see, but it's like a half of, it's so close, but it won't go. The dipstick has a lip on it, and the lip is like at the top of the oil pan of where it goes, so I think it's fine. It needs to go down like that much more, which is where the bolt lines up, so I don't know. Great news, guys. I retightened everything on the oil pan, and then I finally was able to get that dipstick tube bolt in right here, the bottom one. So what I did is I just pushed on the dipstick a bunch. I took it all the way out, and I put some oil on the O-ring. I made sure the O-ring was at the bottom lip of the pan, and then I just kind of fed it in. Actually, no, I put the O-ring up on the dipstick, and it has a little lip, so it stops it. And I pushed it all the way up there, and I fed the dipstick down, and then I could feel the top of the dipstick ring was on top of the pan, and so I was really trying to push it down, and then I finally pushed it and it sunk down, so now it's seated inside the pan, and now it's good. So awesome. See if I can show you. See, somewhere in there maybe. So I got a torque wrench, a proper torque wrench. You know, I got a 1/4 inch drive because I wanted to make sure these oil pan bolts are tight. So we're gonna see, make sure I don't snap one. See, like, that's really loose. Bro, what? It's still going. What the f? Okay. Go off, I guess. What? Okay. Oh my god. Okay. That was close, but engine shaking. Then you get the point. So I guess good thing I bought this. Shout out to you, Jack, because he has one, and I was like, this job requires one. I should probably do that. Oh shit, the oil pump pickup tube. The torque specs for the pickup tube and where it holds on is 89, which is what this is. I don't know if I tightened them. I tightened them pretty tight, so I'm just gonna give one of these and hope that never comes undone. But part of me is like, I should just take it apart and tighten them with the torque wrench just so I'm 100% sure. I don't know. I don't want to take it apart. So after some thinking, I think I'm just gonna leave it how it is. I've already started torquing the rest. I'm pretty close with what I was doing before they were torqued. So, and these oil pan bolts are a lot longer than the oil pump ones, and I bottomed those out and then made sure they were tight. These ones, I didn't realize how long they were, so some of these have a long ways to go. But the good thing I bought this wrench because it's coming in handy already. This pan probably would have leaked if I didn't do this, so shout out you, Jack. And I'm just gonna finish torquing these up to the right spec and then finish the subframe, waiting for paint to dry, and then we'll start putting stuff back together. So what's up, guys? Me from the future, of course. I didn't film an outro, but that'll be the end of this part, putting on the oil pump, oil pickup tube, and the oil pan all back together. In the next part, I'll be welding the front subframe, cleaning it up, and then putting everything back together. I don't know if that'll be another part or 2 parts. It's a lot of footage. I'm trying to explain everything as I go. So hope that was helpful. Stay tuned for more content. We'll see you in the next one.